It's a beautiful afternoon. Welcome to Countrywide on Benue Television. My name is Winifred Yusu. On the headlines, Governor Alia calls on Benue women to contest more elective positions in general elections. Federal government announces plans to inaugurate next phase of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Plus, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission sets up disciplinary panel to investigate operatives accused of assault. Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hassan Talia has urged people of the state to remain steadfast in prayers for his administration to improve their living conditions. Governor Alia made the call Sunday at St. John the Baptist Cathedral, Boko, during a Thanksgiving Mass organized in his honor by the Catholic Men Organization CMO. Emmanuel Akula has the report.
The people of Benue State have continued to petition God for the success of Governor Hassan Thalia's administration. This gathering is a thanksgiving by the Catholic Men Organization of St. John the Baptist Cathedral, Boko, to offer prayers for the governor, the president, and other Nigerian leaders. Governor Ali acknowledges the power of prayer, which he confirms has helped him in his priestly ministry and his emergence as governor of Benue State. The governor, who is grateful to the church for the honor done him, again calls on the people to form farm cooperatives in order to take advantage of the state government support initiative to provide farm inputs and tractors to boost food production.
God remains quite good to all of us, and to us in Benue especially. His faithfulness is what we cannot discount at all. So why we rely on God absolutely, our efforts are supposed to complement our reliance on Him. So I'm urging everyone to join hands with this administration. They have been giving us a tremendous support. Once they continue with that, with the prayers, and then with the efforts of what we are doing to improve the lives of the majority lot, then I'll be satisfied, I'll be fully accomplished.
Cathedral Administrator of St. John the Baptist Cathedral, Boko, Reverend Father Richard Ngbangu, in a homily titled A Touch of Faith, likened the current challenges of Benue State and Nigeria to the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible who was healed with a touch of Jesus' garments. Father Ngbangu encourages the people of God to hold on to their faith to overcome life's challenges.
Today, Jesus cured a hemorrhaging woman. And of course, you can see that Nigeria is hemorrhaging. The state is hemorrhaging. And so we know that when God comes in with the effort of His Excellency and the leaders of this country, when God comes in with their faith and all of that, we'll have total healing for the people so that we'll begin to laugh again.
The governor and other friends of the cathedral support the building of a more befitting place of worship for the people of God. Emmanuel Akula, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Now, the Benue State government is to embark on talent hunts to unlock skills useful for developing the state. The state governor, Reverend Father Hassan Talia, stated this Sunday at St. Peter's Catholic Church, Mede, in Boko Diocese, during a Thanksgiving Mass for Father Godwin Biem. Our correspondent, Emmanuel Akla, completes the story.
A day after his ordination as a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Godwin Biem has returned to God in thanksgiving. Among worshippers and well-wishers at this Thanksgiving Mass is his elder brother, who is the governor of Benue State, Reverend Father Hassan Thalia. Governor Alia sees priestly ministry as a divine but difficult call that requires commitment and the support of God's people to succeed. The governor challenges young people to draw inspiration from the dedication and commitment of the newly ordained priest by engaging in meaningful ventures as his government is willing to empower them for the good of humanity. He uses the event to announce the intention of his administration to soon embark on a talent hunt across the state with the aim to unlock skills for the development of Benue State.
Good morning.
For the newly ordained priest, Father Godwin Biem, his ordination as a Catholic priest is a dream come true. He hopes to use his ministry service to God without reservations, propagating the gospel of Christ, helping as many to receive a happy life after his sojourn on earth.
This is a life that I have agreed to embrace wholeheartedly with my life. So I'm ready for the challenges, whether they are more than me. I don't think there's any challenge that is more than me because I have God on my side. As my friend would say, "Ojime wankando." So I'm not afraid of challenges, and I don't envision any challenge that will be beyond me because I have God.
President General of Bangu Development Association, Kevin Kaha, and a former member of the House of Representatives for Jechira Federal Constituency, Mrs. Dorothy Mato, are thankful to God for gifting the community 12 Catholic priests, hoping that more will come from the Bangu extraction to attend to the spiritual needs of the people. District Head of Madede, Chief Pambaki, assures the new priest of their fatherly blessings as he begins his priestly ministry of shepherding God's flock, urging him to follow the footsteps of his other brothers in the ministry to succeed. The newly ordained priest, Reverend Father Godwin Biem, prays and blesses the governor to succeed as a priest and governor. Emmanuel Akula, Benotal Vision News, Makuti.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Benue State Governor Reverend Father Hassan Talia has called on Benue women to contest more elective positions beginning in the next general elections. Governor Alia made the call Saturday at IBB Square, Makudi, during launching of the project 774 Explode by the All Progressives Congress APC National Women Leader. Correspondent Emmanuel Akula, who covered the event, reports that Governor Hassan Talia declared his belief in the capacity of women to effect change in the society. For this reason, the governor promised to encourage Benue women not just to vote during elections but aspire for elective positions. He said their participation will ensure positive changes in Benue communities, promising to support Benue women with funds and free scholarship to study skills that will allow them participate in the competition organized by the wife of the president, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, to develop and empower women. The governor, who acknowledged support of President Bola Tinubu's federal government to his administration, commended his wife for choosing Benue State for the launching of the project. Launching the project, National Women Leader of the APC, Dr. Mary Alile, said the project was designed to empower and educate women to expand their network and excel in politics. Dr. Alile called on the national and state houses of assembly to come up with legislations that will change cultural norms against the Nigerian woman, lamenting that the number of women in leadership positions has continued to decrease since the return of democracy in Nigeria in 1999. Chairman of the occasion, Mr. Nelson Alapa, and Chialidi, who is the wife of the State Deputy Governor, Mrs. Christy Ode, said the project will bridge the gender gaps and urging Benue women to embrace partisan politics. Keynote speaker Mr. Dennis Zawa, who spoke on the theme Enhancing Gender Space in Politics, attributed the success of political movements to the instrumentality of women. He praised Governor Alia's strategic plan for Benue for making provision for the involvement of the women into partisan politics as enshrined in the Constitution of APC and Federal Republic of Nigeria. One woman each was selected across the 23 local government areas of the state to benefit from the first phase of the project in Benue State. The Christian community has again been tasked to arise now and work more with God for total victory to be attained. Resident Pastor, Spirit Life Christian Assembly, Makudi Teka Taki, delivered the Sunday service message to the people. Our correspondent Margaret Taba reports.
The resident pastor, Teka Tagi, notes that just as Deborah and Barak did in the Bible, God gave them victory against their enemies. Men should do likewise for total victory in the face of adversary. The clergy further stressed that believers need to arise now and walk with God, because in a manner that is incumbent on the people to listen and obey his voice.
When God speaks to us, if we don't rise, there's nothing that will happen. But when God speaks and he finds men that will rise and put what God is saying into action, that is when God will mobilize all that they need to give them victory.
Pastor Teka Taki posts that Christians who recognize their weakness are available to God to manifest himself. He pointed out that the Bible shows that God uses the foolish things of this world to shame the wise, and advises Christians to be available in a way that God can use them to bring about a safe and stable society.
He doesn't want the flesh to glory. He wants to glorify himself. So that you are weak, that you know that you can't even do anything. You know, when God speaks, all he expects is that God expects that you should rise up and do what he wants you to do.
Some worshippers, Mrs. Jane Nuhu and Mr. Nicholas Yune, agree that Christians should make themselves available for God to use, and they should depend on God for their needs.
Make yourself available in the presence of God. Tell God that you want to partner with him. And by faith, God will help you to become a blessing to your generation.
We need to depend on God. And when we depend on God, he actually fights for us, stands for us, and he also provides for us.
The Bible reading is taken from the book of Judges chapter 5 verse 7, and it reads, "Nobody lived in the small villages. I, Deborah, became their leaders. I became like a mother for Israel people to keep them safe." Margaret Abba, Benin Television News, Makudi.
Thank you, Margaret. Let's go on a very quick break. We will be back shortly. Welcome. Now, for development and a healthy environment, the good people of Benue State have been tasked to key into the new executive order recently signed by Governor Hassan Talia to ensure public order in the state. Covering manager of Benue State Environmental Authority Ben Sessa, Francis Ona, gave the indication Saturday after the monthly sanitation exercise. Our correspondent Oleku Ondoma has the rest of the story.
General sanitation exercise is a deliberate effort to ensure sustainable and healthy environments for human habitation across the states. Sanitation exercise is a sole responsibility of residents, businesses or shop owners. Pedestrians and road users are also expected to respect sanitation laws because they are the generators of waste. Covering manager of Benue State Environmental Authority, Ben Sessa, Francis Ona, says he's deeply saddened by the sanitary condition of the state, particularly the state capital, and that bushes are allowed to grow around homes, even as drainages are packed with refuse, making it impossible for free flow of water. He wants people to be mindful of the kinds of things they let into their systems, as expired drugs, packs, plastic containers, and soft drinks of different kinds were seized and destroyed. He vows that the agency will by next sanitation clamp down on those who are always complacent in carrying out sanitation activities during sanitation hours, especially residents of Wadata, North Bank, Tewase Agbado, George Akumewe, Aboking Shulua Road residents. Ona maintains that the agency under his watch will witness rapid transformation, adding that people will be given new orientation towards sanitation exercises, unlike what was obtainable in the past.
Health workers also will do checking of individual household to clear their gutters. In the next this thing, we will have to be sure that, because like that Wadata area is a major problem to us, Wadata, Urukum, North Bank, these three places, in the next sanitation we have to emphasize on that, so that both personnel and equipments are deployed to that place to ensure that they comply.
Special advisor to the governor on sanitation, Sunday Shisun, says the state government is working towards putting an end to lack of human resources, poor management, and supervision of the exercise.
This new administration is working towards getting the dump site. The place that they are dumping at Old Bridge is not right, because the Environmental Health Council of Nigeria warns that every state, every local government at any point in time, you have a dump site, and the dump site must have 1 hectare and above. So we don't have, but we're working towards making it, getting it right.
State Desk Officer on Sanitation, Samuel Adaji, affirms that there's going to be massive evacuation of waste and desilting of drainages in some critical area of the state capital by the Ministry of Water Resources, Environment and Climate Change.
It's going to be massive desilting in the state capital here. Some critical points have already been marked out. For instance, this David Mark bypass here, extension, Tony Mars, all of those places we have captured them to be desilted. The gutters that are blocked, provisions have also been made. And then we are also going to do massive evacuation of those desilted materials. So some of those places you see them now, maybe in due time, they will also all be packed from there.
About 48 people were arrested and arraigned before the Sanitation Mobile Court for flaunting sanitation laws, and each were asked to pay a fine according to the offense committed. 6 vehicles, 20 motorcycles, 4 tricycles were also seized and impounded. Oleku Ondoma, Benue Television News, Makudi.
Thank you, Oleku, for bringing us up to speed with that. Now, the federal government has announced plans to inaugurate the next phase of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway for Cross River to Akwa Ibom. This is its efforts to sustain the ongoing infrastructural development drive in line with its renewed hope agenda. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, disclosed this at the stakeholders engagement meeting held at Ibom Hall in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. This was contained in a statement by the ministry's Director, Information and Public Relations, Edat Ikpeyong. Speaking at the event, the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, expressed his appreciation to President Bola Tinubu for listening to his plea to start Section 3 and 4 of the Coastal Highway in Cross River State to Akwa Ibom. He called on the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno, to give maximum support to the federal government. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has set up a disciplinary panel to investigate 2 operatives accused of assaulting a woman during a raid in a hotel in Lagos. Spokesman of the commission, Dele Oyewale, who said this in a statement on Monday in Abuja, added that the errant officers were to appear before the panel on Monday. Oyewale said that the EFCC chairman, Olal Olukayode, set up the disciplinary team to look into the case of the 2 errant officers of the commission who allegedly assaulted the female staff of Regional Hotel Ojo, Lagos. Recall that last Thursday, the officers were cited in a viral video assaulting the staff of the hotel in an early morning sting operation on Thursday. He said the team would look into the case of the officers and recommend appropriate disciplinary measures. According to him, Olukoyode stressed that no stone will be left unturned in getting the officers to account for their unprofessional conduct. The Lagos State government has announced additional support from the World Health Organization (WHO) as it grapples with the cholera outbreak at Kirikiri prison. During an update on the cholera outbreak in Lagos State, Commissioner for Health Professor Akin Abayomi highlighted the successful implementation of urgent medical and environmental intervention measures. Abayomi revealed that the recent cholera outbreak in Lagos stemmed from unregulated street beverages and contaminated water supplies identified as the primary sources 2 weeks ago. He explained that numerous samples collected from commonly sold street beverages by undercover environmental officers from the Environmental Protection Agency (LASEPA) and the Ministry of Health in the affected regions verified the existence of Vibrio cholera bacteria responsible for causing cholera. He stated that while no new deaths attributable to cholera had been reported in the past 72 hours, the government was escalating efforts to eradicate transmission entirely. Abayomi pointed out that the decrease in the new daily cases and the absence of recent deaths show that interventions were yielding results. He emphasized the crucial role of residents adhering to public health information and advice regarding safety measures and promptly seeking health care when symptoms arise. The commissioner assured the public that there was no cause for panic, expressing confidence that through ongoing collaboration, vigilance, and commitment from all stakeholders, the state is implementing decisive measures to effectively combat and control the spread of cholera thereby safeguarding the health and well-being of its residents. Governor of Katsina State, Diko Rada, has vowed to play a crucial role in combating malnutrition in northern Nigeria. Speaking at a high-level dialogue on malnutrition held in Abuja, hosted by the Athena Center for Policy and Leadership in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Health, Rada emphasized his commitment to the welfare of the people of Katsina State. Rada expressed concern over the alarming statistics of over 10 million children suffering from acute malnutrition in northern Nigeria. The governor called for immediate action to remedy the situation, particularly in Katsina State. Rada's pledge to tackle malnutrition highlighted his dedication to improving the health and well-being of the region's children and underscored the need for collaborative efforts to address this critical issue. The governor further joined in the advocacy for a shift in federal allocations to the northwest and north-central regions currently grappling with increased insecurity and heightened vulnerability to malnutrition. He assured of paying the state's counterpart funds when necessary and expressed Katsina's openness to partnership and collaborations to address these issues. The event brought together key stakeholders including the governors of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, Niger State, Mohammed Umar Bago, Deputy Governor of Kebbi State, Minister of Health Professor Muhammad Ali Pate, and Mrs. Shongra Mahmood, Director of Nutrition, representing the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Let's take a very short break. We will be back with more stories. Do stay with us. Welcome, it's still Countrywide on Benue Television. Now, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project (SERAP) has urged the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN), Mr. Olayemi Cardoso, to account for and explain the whereabouts of the over 100 billion naira dirty and bad notes and other large sums of cash awaiting examination, which are kept in various branches of the CBN. SERAP, which made the call through a statement issued by its Deputy Director, Kolawole Oluwadare, said the allegations are documented in the latest annual report recently published by the Auditor General of the Federation. SERAP also urged him to explain the whereabouts of the 7.2 billion naira budgeted for the construction of the CBN Duty branch in 2010 and the 4.8 billion naira budgeted for the renovation of the CBN Abeokuta branch in 2009, and to publish the names of the contractors who collected the money but failed to complete the project. Seraph urged him to explain the whereabouts of the allegedly missing outstanding loan of 1.2 billion naira granted to the Enugu state government in 2015 and the outstanding loan of 1.9 billion naira granted to the Anambra state government between 2015 and 2016, and to fully recover and remit the public funds to the treasury. Seraph said these grave violations also reflect a failure of CBN accountability more generally and are directly linked to the institution's persistent failure to comply with its act and to uphold the principles of transparency and accountability. Seraph said it would be grateful if the recommended measures are taken within 7 days of the receipt and or publication of this later. A former Chief of Defense Staff, Admiral Ibrahim Ogohi, is dead. He passed on after a brief illness at the age of 75. In a brief statement by the Acting Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, Sunday, the former defense chief died in the early hours of Sunday at his Abuja home. He was the defense chief between 1999 and 2003 and was the first Nigerian Navy officer to attain a 4-star general rank. Born on November 14, 1948, Ogohi hails from Ukura Olafia in the Kenya local government area of Kogi State. According to his public profile, he had his early education at St. John's College, Kaduna from 1962 to 1966 and enrolled in the Nigerian Defense Academy NDA in 1967 of regular course 4, passing out in 1970. Ugohi attended his midshipman course in the UK in 1971 and technical course in India in 1972, underwater warfare course India in 1976, then the U.S. Naval War College course in 1980 and 1992. He was commanding officer Eken NNS France in 1982, Commander NNS Anansa in 1985, and Director of Administration at the NDA from 1986 to 1987. In 1992, he was directing staff in the National War College and Deputy Commandant Armed Forces Command Staff College, Jaji, in 1995. May the soul of the departed rest in peace. That's our package for you this afternoon, but before we go, let's take a recap of our headlines. Governor Alia has called on Benue women to contest more elective positions in general elections. Also, federal government has announced plans to inaugurate next phase of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. We intimated you that Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has set up disciplinary panel to investigate operators accused of assault. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Winifred, so do have a great day.